A long time ago, in the village of Orita, the people were known for two things: bravery and truth. No thief could escape judgment, and no liar could sleep in peace. This was because of a secret gift the village had: a sacred talking drum called Aye. This drum could only be beaten by the village's priestess, Yeye Morayo. Once the drum was played, it would reveal every hidden truth. If someone stole, Aye would say their name. If someone cheated, the drum would sing their secrets out loud. One day, something terrible happened. The sacred drum disappeared. At first, the villagers thought it was a joke, but after searching every hut, every shrine, every corner of the land, they realized the drum had been stolen. Yeye Morayo fainted. No one had ever dared to touch the drum, not to talk of stealing it. It was kept in the temple of 3 paths, a hidden place deep in the forest where only the chosen ones could go. Only 2 people in the whole village had access to it: Yeye Morayo and Olori Adepoju, the king of Orita. When the people asked the king what happened, he became angry. "Do you dare to question your king?" he shouted. But his hands were shaking. His eyes didn't look straight. Something was not right. Yeye Morayo called an emergency meeting at the village square. She brought out a small calabash filled with black water. "We may not have the drum," she said, "but the spirits of the land still see all." She asked the spirits to reveal the truth. The water turned red. Suddenly, a voice came out from the calabash. "The one who stole the drum walks in royal shoes." The village gasped. Some people looked at the king. Some looked at his son, Prince Folari, a proud and stubborn boy who was always jealous of the priestess and her powers. Prince Folari stepped forward. "You dare accuse me of stealing?" he shouted. "I am the lion of this land." But as he raised his voice, thunder rumbled in the sky. Yeye Morayo pointed at him. "Only the one who enters the Forbidden Forest can find the drum and save this land. But the forest takes something from everyone who enters." The people kept quiet. No one ever went to the Forbidden Forest. It was a cursed place, a place where voices whispered from the trees, a place where time stood still. Anyone who entered never came back the same. But someone had to go. And so a young hunter named Kaye stepped forward. Kaye was not a king. He was not rich, but he was brave, honest, and had lost his sister the year before to a strange sickness that came after the drum disappeared. He believed the drum had something to do with it. "I will go," Kaye said. "I have nothing to lose." Yeye Morayo looked into his eyes. "Then may the spirits guide you." That night, Kaye packed his bag: just a bowl, a calabash of water, and a charm his late mother gave him. He tied a red cloth around his wrist, said goodbye to his dog, and walked into the Forbidden Forest. Kaye stepped into the forest just before sunrise. As soon as he crossed the last tree that marked the edge of the village, everything changed. The wind stopped. The birds disappeared. Even his shadow vanished. The forest was quiet. Too quiet. He took a few steps and heard whispers. Turn back. Turn back, Kaye. But he kept walking. He didn't look back. After walking for what felt like hours, he reached a large tree with a mouth. Yes, a tree with a mouth. The tree opened its mouth wide and said, "If you want to pass, give me your voice." Kaye frowned. My voice? I need it. Then you cannot pass, the tree replied. Kaye thought for a while. Then he remembered what Yeye Morayo said. The forest takes something from everyone who enters. He took a deep breath. Take it, he said. The tree sucked in air, and just like that, Kaye could no longer speak. He tried to say something, but no sound came out. The tree smiled and moved its roots aside, letting him pass. Now, Kaye was mute. As he walked deeper into the forest, he came to a river, but the river was not made of water. It was made of fire. The flames danced and whispered. To cross, you must cool the fire with something precious. Kaye opened his bag. He had nothing valuable, just a bowl, an empty calabash, and the charm his mother gave him. He looked at the charm, a piece of cloth tied with cowries. His mother gave it to him on her deathbed. It was her last gift. Kaye's eyes filled with tears. But he knew what he had to do. He dropped the charm into the fire. At once, the flames turned into smoke, and the river became cool. He walked across. Now, he had no voice and no charm. But he didn't stop. Soon, he entered a dark part of the forest where the trees had eyes. They blinked. They watched. A voice echoed through the air. Kaye of Orita, you are close, but before you reach the drum, you must face the one who guards it. Suddenly, the ground opened and a tall figure rose from it. It was not man. It was not animal. It was Orokoto, the spirit of secrets. Orokoto had no face, just a smooth, round head and a long, deep voice. Who are you to seek the drum? It asked. Kaye tried to speak, but he had no voice. Orokoto laughed. You gave up your voice and your heart's treasure. But the biggest test is still ahead. The ground shook. Suddenly, Kaye saw something, a hidden memory he never knew he had. It was Prince Folari standing near the sacred drum, whispering to someone wearing a dark cloak. The drum was being taken, not by one person, but two. Kaye's eyes widened. Orokoto stepped closer. Now you know the truth. Will you speak it, even though you cannot speak? Will you carry it back, even though you may die for it? Kaye nodded. Then you must find the drum before the blood moon rises. A glowing path appeared. Kaye followed it. And in the center of the forest, surrounded by bones and black fire, was the sacred talking drum, Bedru-aye, lying silently on a stone. But just as he reached for it, a voice called out behind him, Don't touch it, unless you're ready to die. Kaye turned, and standing there was Prince Folari, with the dark figure in the cloak beside him. Kaye froze. His hands were inches from the sacred drum, Bedu Aye. But now Prince Folarin stood behind him, and next to him was the cloaked figure. The figure's face was hidden, but Kaye could feel the evil in the air. The prince stepped forward. "I warned you," Folarin said, "but you didn't listen." Kaye still had no voice. Folarin laughed. "You must be wondering what I am doing here. You see, I was tired of Yeye Morayo, tired of her power, tired of that stupid drum always controlling the truth." He walked in a circle around Kaye. "People feared her more than they fear my father, the king. One day, I will rule Orita, but to rule, you must control the truth." He pointed at the drum. "This drum ruins people. It shouts your secrets. It makes kings bow to peasants. I wanted it gone." The cloaked figure nodded silently. Kaye clenched his fist. He couldn't speak, but his eyes burned with anger. Folarin smiled. "I knew someone would come looking for it, but I never expected it would be you. Nobody, a hunter with no family, no voice, and now no way out." Suddenly, the cloaked figure raised both hands and shadows rose from the ground. Dark, twisted spirits with empty eyes surrounded the drum. Kaye looked around. There were too many, but he didn't step back. He dropped his bow. He didn't need it. Instead, he placed his hand on the red cloth tied to his wrist, the only thing he had left. Suddenly, his mother's voice whispered in his heart, "Your strength is not in your voice, it's in your truth." Kaye took a deep breath. Then something strange happened. The red cloth on his wrist started to glow. Light poured from it, bright and warm, and the spirits screamed and scattered. The shadows melted. The cloaked figure shrieked and disappeared into the earth. Prince Folarin staggered back, shielding his eyes. "What? What is this?" Kaye reached for the drum and touched it. Boom! The drum came to life. It beat once, twice. Then it spoke in a loud voice that echoed across the forest. "The truth shall speak even without words." A wind blew through the forest, and suddenly a vision appeared. The sky above them, everyone in Orita could see it, even from the village square. They saw Prince Folarin stealing the drum with the cloaked stranger. They saw him hide it. They saw his lies. The people screamed. The king dropped his crown in shame. Yeye Morayo looked to the sky and whispered, "Thank you, spirits." Back in the forest, the drum glowed brighter. Prince Folarin fell to his knees. "Please, please, don't take me away." But the forest spirits had seen enough. The ground opened and dragged the prince down, screaming into the earth. Kaye collapsed beside the drum. He had passed all the tests, but he was weak. He had no charm, no voice, and now he couldn't even feel his legs. But the drum whispered, "You brought truth back to the land. Now let truth reward you." A wave of light passed over Kaye. He stood. He could speak again. "I did it," he whispered. The forest slowly faded. The path to Orita opened. Kaye carried the sacred drum back home. Kaye walked out of the Forbidden Forest at sunrise. His steps were slow. The sacred drum, Bedu Aye, hung across his back. It felt heavy, not just in weight, but in truth. As he entered Orita, the villagers gathered in silence. Even the goats stopped bleating. Yeye Morayo was the first to speak. "You made it back with the drum." Kaye nodded. He looked around. The king's throne was empty. Prince Folarin was gone. The forest had taken him. Yeye Morayo took the drum gently from Kaye's back, her hands trembling as she placed it in the center of the square. "Let truth speak." She struck it once. Boom! The sound echoed. Then the drum spoke. You have not seen the last of Bedu Aye. More truth will be revealed here on Folktales by Fire, where history comes alive.